Good morning, and thank you for listening to the presentation for Triton Minerals. It's about our developing a world-class projects for the graphite revolution, and something we're very excited about, the near-term development of our Ancuabe project. Disclaimers are on page 11 for the presentation, and I'll go straight into the main presentation. For us at Triton, we believe we're the right commodity and assets in a tier 1 location. Graphite, in our opinion, is a critical commodity for the future. We have world-class assets, which I'll run through later, with excellent returns. And we're in actually the premier location for graphite in Mozambique, with the existing graphite producers in that area and a very supportive government. For us, really understanding graphite is really important, and not all graphites are equal in our view. It's taken us a while to really work out what drives value, and you'll see the prices at the market prices below of how the differentiation between fine flake and jumbo flake differentiates it. For us, flake size is very important, grade and also physical impurities. But if you then look at the applications they go into, battery material is driven by grade, both in terms of natural flotation, but also the chemical purification that occurs afterwards. It's not our target market for Ancuabe, but important for our Nicanda Hill project. Refractory is where the refractory market is one thing which we will supply, that you need medium-sized flake, which we have abundance of, and have a high grade, which we're able to meet as well. But our primary market is really the expandable graphite market, and you'll see the prices of that are a substantial premium to other graphites. Need large flake and 94 to 98% purity, and we make that with ease at the Ancuabe project. One thing that, from the market perspective, is you're seeing, China is the dominant part of the graphite market, but there is really a structural shortage looming in the coming years, and by 2025. Benchmark Mineral Intelligence are expecting that we will see a shortage, even if the existing projects come online, and even Roskill have a forecast of 23 to 27% growth each year. So we're seeing a structural shortage coming, and very few projects that are positioned, especially in the large flake graphite, to meet the demand going forward. As I mentioned, China is a very dominant part of the graphite market. It's gone through very much, like many other commodities, environmental restriction on its capacity. There has been a number of shutdowns in China, and likely to be more based on environmental grounds. But they also have initiatives that are driving towards cleaner and greener environmental goals, which were in 2020. But now we're seeing the 2025 goals of energy savings and new energy vehicles, both of which are significant drivers of demand for graphite, as well as a likely limitation on the graphite production of large flake graphite in China. So for us, the near-term story is really about large flake graphite, and we've done a substantial amount of test work at Ancuabe, and up to 60% of our product can go into that expandable graphite market. Which is interesting compared to the current global supply, which is about 10% of the global supply of graphite is suitable for the expandable graphite. we're deliberately targeting those areas because of the strong outlook, but also the limited supply and premium pricing that attracts us to that. If you have a look in China, just a quote from their China National Building Materials Institute, that they believe they'll need about 40 million tonnes of flame retardant building materials, which contains about 5% graphite. That alone is about 2 million tonnes of graphite requirements of large flake. The total production of graphite last year was probably only a million tonnes of graphite. So you can see there is structural shortages coming in that market. So going on to our project at Ancuabe, it is a world-class asset. It's long life. It has the DFS completed showed a 27-year mine life based on the reserves. We're open with a lot more resources to come into the reserve. We have near-term production. We're aiming to be in production at 60,000 tonnes by end of 2021, and producing into the market at 2022. We have a clear path to funding. We've got a strategic partnership with Jinan High-Tech, which has been a cornerstone investor in the Ancuabe project, and is providing the financing support, which we hope to announce in the coming month about that financing. The market for graphite is transforming, and so it will drive the demand for the Ancuabe project going forward. But what's really important is we're actually ready to go. We have a mining concession granted, a environmental license is already granted. We have offtake secured for over 50% of the production. We have an EPC contract signed with MCC International, which has concessional financing attached to it at very attractive financing rates. In terms of location, look, we're very fortunate. We're in Mozambique, the northern part of Mozambique. Cabo Delgado province is a proven graphite producing area. There's 2 existing producers, being Syrah and AMG, which gives confidence in the market that it is a good area to produce, and the government's very supportive of it. We are close to the Pemba port. We're the closest of all East African projects to a port. It's a container port, so we don't have to build infrastructure. And our aim is to be the next East African graphite producer, and one of high purity large flake. So average grade 97.5%, and around about 60% large flake size and above. So very, very attractive product. We also have, as a secondary project, our Ancuabe Hill, which is the world's largest graphite and vanadium deposit. It's got enough capacity there to supply the EV market for probably 100 years. It is only really suitable for the EV area. It gets a grade about 95% concentrate. We have a very long-term view on this project, that it will be very attractive in going forward, and we will pursue a joint venture partner and financing on that project. So it actually gives us a pipeline of projects, and then we have a third one, Ancuabe West, which is very similar to Ancuabe, but closer to the Ancuabe Hill area. So for our highlights going forward, we have near-term production. We have high margins, so we're having about a $298 million NPV, IRR of around 37%. Mining concession granted for Ancuabe, binding offtakes over 50%, EPC contract signed. We've got a very good partnership with Jinan High-Tech, which has that financing support. But on top of that, we're in the prime area for graphite development in East Africa, being Mozambique. 3 projects, And we've been very fortunate because of our Chinese connection that we've been able to operate and progress the financing during this time where everyone's trying to in lockdown. So look, I'm very happy to take the opportunity to meet with groups during the conference, and very much look forward to telling this Triton story. Thank you.